Hello, hey guys, Joko here, and I finally get to make this video. Last of Us Part 2 was revealed at PlayStation Experience 2016. If you haven't seen the trailer, and you've been living under a rock for the past while, no problem, click on my channel and you can go check the live reveal. It's right in my uploads, it's really recent. Check that out. It's finally revealed. Looks awesome from the trailer. But what I was really waiting for in terms of the reveal was I was waiting for the reveal so I could do this one specific video, and this video is my personal multiplayer Factions 2 wish list. It's basically a summarization of a list I've been doing for like the past year of stuff I think that's either broken, needs improvement, stuff they could add to make it better, and just general thoughts on the multiplayer that I've had. I've summarized it all into 4 basic categories. So I have weapons, perks, game modes, and then the last category is just a miscellaneous thing where I'm going to spout off some stuff that I've thought of that should be improved on, just generally. Okay, so let's start this off in weapons. So I'm going to go straight to the earliest oversight and the longest oversight in the game, and that's the 3-burst rifle. So let me pull up my list here so I can read off of it. The 3-burst. So when the game came out, the semi-auto rifle was hated on so much as being the most OP weapon in the game. It was so easy to use and pick up, and because of all that hate and the fact no one really got proficient with the burst rifle to the level they are today, so what Naughty Dog did was they came in and they updated through firmware. They changed the 3-burst so that instead of taking a full burst of three bullets, which is essentially 3 9mm shots, 3 9mm shots, which is what it should have stayed at always, they buffed it so that it only took 2 to take off armor. And also they decreased its upgrade costs from 400 and 800 to 300 and 600. So they boosted it majorly because apparently this hate on other weapons was too much and they wanted to make the 3-burst more powerful. But what you guys don't essentially realize, and I'm going to talk straight to Naughty Dog because I hope they see this, but what they did was, what you guys did was boost a weapon that was already in nature overpowered. Because you have a 3-burst weapon, 1 button press shoots 3 9mm shots, and the way the recoil works, it shoots the gun upwards. So it's actually super easy to land headshots with the 3-burst. All you have to do is aim for the chest, and the recoil innate to the weapon will shoot it up, and you'll get a headshot, okay? It's super easy. The gun is way too accurate and has way too high of a fire rate. It's the only weapon in the game that can down in 1 button press in terms of non-power weapons. So it's the only large firearm that can down in 1 button press, and it's essentially immediate. If you're on the receiving end with lag, it's an immediate death. And it's just ridiculous. It's way too easy to land headshots. You have to tune down the damage of the headshots because they're higher than even the 9mm. And you have to lower its accuracy. In your description of the 9mm, you say it's a close-range monster. And then you give it tons of accuracy and very little recoil once it's fully upgraded. It's disgusting. It can shoot 9 9mm shots in less than a second and a half, pretty much. Essentially, it's somewhere around that time. 9mm bullets in 1.5 seconds. Imagine the 9mm firing at that speed. I can't even explain how many times I've been downed really far away, either from like a base 3-burst or across the map from like fully upgraded. Like I've killed people across the map in 1 burst. It's way too accurate for being a close range weapon. So in short, the 3-burst is the leading gun in almost every category because of the boost you guys have given it. So it's cheap to upgrade, it's among the cheapest, it's the easiest to get headshots with, it has the highest fire rate of any of the main guns. It benefits the most from sharpshooter. It benefits the most from scavenger. You pick up the most ammo just flat out. You start with more ammo. Like, it's supposed to be a close range weapon, and you can easily destroy people at long range with it. It's disgusting. It needs to be nerfed. You need to add, it needs to be less accurate, have a little reworked recoil, reworked weapon spread, and it should, like, it rivals most power weapons, okay? If you're fighting someone with sharpshooter and a 3-burst and they're good players, even power weapons are not even a guaranteed kill like they usually are against normal players. They can challenge them, and that's just unacceptable. It needs to be nerfed for the next game. Alright, so let's move on to the next overpowered weapon, and that's the variable rifle. Now, of course, this was a DLC weapon that was added later, and simply put, this weapon has a high rate of fire, high damage, and high accuracy. So it's crazy in all three aspects of a gun. Its range is also crazy because it has a built-in scope. So it's a variable rifle. So you can either use a scope version of it or just use over the shoulder. And its fire rate is insane. If you get hit by someone who's good and they keep their aim on you, you can't move. You're basically stuck and you can't do anything unless you return fires in some way. You can't move. You can't do anything. It hits. It's powerful. Compared to the semi-auto, which is a 3-hit, will take out someone with armor. If you hit them in the body, it will take out someone with armor in 5 shots. Now the variable, because it's just a little bit less powerful, meaning its shots are still very strong for its fire rate, which is way higher than the semi-auto. It can down someone with armor in the same amount of shots because its damage is just a little less, and then you factor in the fact it fires way faster and is way more accurate than the semi-auto. One more measly shot from a high rate, high accurate gun to kill someone. They paid all these parts to get armor. One more bullet will down someone with the variable. Just one more bullet. No other gun in the game just takes one more bullet to take off armor, excluding, the sniper and the frontier. This is a 4-hit gun that's an absolute beast in accuracy. It's disgusting what a decent player can do with this, even a mediocre one. It needs to be. This weapon has the statistics basically of a power weapon, and it's not. It's a regular starter gun that you can use and upgrade, and it's even on base level. It's really good. Its accuracy, fire rate, and damage, they're just too high. Once someone lands a shot on you, you can't even move. You're basically frozen. It needs to have a nerf in one of those areas, or two, if it's a slight nerf. Alright, and the next major overpowered weapon is, of course, the infamous tactical shotgun. So, and this is all coming from someone who loves shotguns. I love being up close, personal, and aggressive, and going in and wiping out tons of people in a really aggressive fashion. That's something I love to do in video games. Bad Company 2, that's something I love to do the main way I played. And essentially what you guys did with the tactical shotgun in The Last of Us, you basically brought in this slightly slower pace multiplayer, you guys brought in a realistic shotgun, is essentially what you guys did. Now, you brought in an accurate shotgun that downs in 2 shots and has a pretty fast fire rate. So coming from someone who loves that playstyle, I can honestly say the tactical is it's an abomination as a weapon in this game. And it's something I avoid because it's so easy for anyone with any skill. It has way too much range for being a shotgun and having the fire rate that it has. Its fire rate is solid, it's near perfect if it had way less range. Because unlike the double barrel, its aimer is smaller, so you do have to aim a bit more, but even so, it's way less than main bullet guns. So you have to tone down the range, and depending on how far you tone down the range is how far you adjust the fire rate. So if you don't tone down the range that much, maybe tone down the fire rate just a little bit. But if you say cut the range in half, it would be near decent. But yeah, simply put, it needs a range and fire rate adjustment. Lower one. If you don't lower it enough, then lower the other one. Okay, so those are the 3 biggest problems in the game in terms of overpowered weapons. These next few are either buffs or slight nerfs. So the next weapon I'm going to talk about is the full auto, and I love this gun because it's so unique and has such a different feel than any of the other guns. But the problem with it is, you guys, Naughty Dog, you essentially made the weakest gun in any game ever. So what they did was they made a full auto gun with lots of weapon bloom, lots of recoil. It takes 5 shots to down on the body. But what they did was they nerfed the headshot damage to be only 40 per bullet. Now, if you compare this to the 9mm pistol, which is essentially the same thing but semi-auto, and not quite as accurate, they made the headshot damage 40, whereas the 9mm is 50. So the 9mm can down in 2 headshots really fast because it's a fast fire rate. The full auto is like the weakest gun ever made. It can only down in 3 bullets at the least, and 2 of them have to be in the head. So, like, you guys really should have left it at 2, because it's such a weak weapon and has so much weapon bloom and recoil, especially if you're not using sharpshooter, which I don't use. So, you guys need to boost that to 50. It's 2 more points than the 9mm pistol, and it has the most weapon bloom and most recoil in the game. It simply has to down in 2 headshots, because after that first shot, none of the shots are really even accurate. And every time I've used this weapon and I've really gotten into it, I'll eventually fight people who are decent players using the OP weapons that I just mentioned, the first 3, some type of variation with sharpshooter, and I'll eventually get sick of using the full auto because it's just simply too weak. You can sit there and land 100% of your shots, and the weapon recoil won't be enough to stop them, and you'll be dead way before you kill them because this gun is simply just way weaker. Even if you land headshots, it takes 3 bullets. And 2 of those shots are going to be really inaccurate because of the recoil. It's insane how much recoil and weapon bloom this gun has. You just need to adjust the headshot, because basically on top of that, it suffers from low ammo. Like, you guys really screwed up the ammo pickups, because this gun takes 5 shots in the body, 8 shots if they have armor, and you only pick up 3 shots if you don't have scavenger. I believe it's 3 shots, same as the 9mm. And if you have scavenger, you only pick up 6, whereas the 3 burst will pick up 12, which is ridiculous. It's so broken, the ammo pickup. But yeah, adjust the headshot damage for this gun, and it's near perfect. The next weapon I'm going to bring up is the Enforcer. This was a DLC pistol. It's the second variant of a 4-hit body shot that you can start with. So it is the pistol version of the variable rifle. And you could actually argue, just like the variable rifle, that per points, this gun is the best in the game. It's insane. It has the most accurate over-the-shoulder aiming of like any starter weapon. It's incredibly accurate. It has a really high fire rate. Not quite the 9mm, but just under. And it does fairly good damage. Like, it takes 4 hits. It's not as much damage as the variable, thankfully. But any decent player knows that you can dominate with this pistol. It's 1 point, and it can challenge. The thing is, it can actually outplay and challenge most firearms, except for maybe the three main ones that I was talking about earlier. This gun, anyone with any decent skill knows how powerful this gun is. And it's accurate, it has a really high fire rate, and it does pretty decent damage, and it's only a single point. This gun needs one aspect of its stats, either fire rate, speed, or accuracy, to be nerfed, because it's way too good for a 1-point pistol. It simply needs some type of nerf in one of those areas, because it's too good for being 1 point. It's as good as any large firearm, essentially, and it's 1 point. Alright guys, so the next weapon I'm going to talk about is the Shiv. This is obviously, for my subs, they know me, I'm a huge Shiver in this game. It's my favorite kill of the game. It's one of my favorite ways to play is Shiv only. I have the world record of 21 Shivs in one match, done solo without anyone helping me. And the problem with the Shiv is that it's glitched, and it seems to be so deep in the programming that you guys can't really fix it, and lag doesn't help. But I have a bunch of videos up showing the Shiv, the triangle prompt flashing instead of activating and just completely failing in some instances. It seems to be a bit better since the Pro came out. I don't know if you guys patched anything on it, but that needs to be ironed out for number 2, because that is it's so aggravating, and it's game breaking to someone who wants to play Shiv only, and you know, to anyone. It could be it's been the cause of people losing matches and, you know, all that. It needs to be ironed out and fixed for number 2. I'm just going to quickly brush upon melee weapons. So the melee is pretty fun in this game, but there are aspects of it that aren't really working very well. Like, I've have a whole melee montage. I've played tons of melee only matches, and the thing about them is sometimes they fail, just flat out fail in the game. Like, you'll miss someone in front of you with the machete. There's also a glitch where the game takes away your 2-hit nail board when you die and gives you a machete instead if you have that in your loadout, which is pretty annoying. But machetes can miss right in front of you. They don't stop one-hit nail boards on stairs sometimes. It just completely fails. The lock-on needs to be adjusted so that it's not quite... Because when you have weapons that lock on like melees do, and then you mix in lag, it makes for some insane kills. Like, I've leaped really far in-game and just slaughtered someone really far away with the one-hit kill, and it's insane. I think the auto-aim needs to be toned down and adjusted, because sometimes I'll miss people right in front of me, but then I'll be sprinting away from someone else, and they'll hit me really far away with lag. I think that the auto-aim needs to be toned down, and some of the aspects of it. The machete sometimes will randomly miss with its 3rd hit or something, and so I'll have to re-strike at someone, and usually I'll end up dying because of it. The Shiv's prompt angle needs to be adjusted a bit more. It needs to be, like, sometimes I'll run up to someone perpendicular to them, and I'll get the Shiv prompt, but other times I'll be behind them, and the prompt won't even pop up. Meanwhile, I'm facing them from behind to a certain degree. And, like, it doesn't make sense why it doesn't pop up. And also, when you're running behind someone, when you're both sprinting, the Shiv prompt will actually flash and fail. And it's something to do with sprinting behind people that makes the prompt fail, I noticed, in the newest version of the game, since your latest patch from the Pro. And also, the 2x4, sometimes instead of doing the delayed hit that it's supposed to do to give the person some time to shoot the guy, it will fail, and he'll do a default 2x4 swing, which is way faster, and it's supposed to be delayed to give them a chance, so that's a little broken. It usually does this on stairs too. Okay, so pretty much the last thing in the weapons category is throwables. Now, I love playing throwable only. I've put up a few matches of it. It's really fun to play, and I've done it quite a bit. But the problem with throwables is the hit detection. Like, you'll constantly, even when lag isn't actually a factor in the situation, like, you'll get hit through walls from stuff that's on the other side, down by bombs, through objects, like that. Even like, and these are instances where you can't even blame lag. So that the explosion mechanics and hit detection have to be reworked, because they're completely broken at times. They do ridiculous things. You get stunned outside, you get blown up through walls, through objects, like that has to be reworked. And also, one thing I don't like about throwables in this game, when you go to throw them, you have to sit dead still after hitting the throw button, or else the whole throw can be canceled out and ruined. Like, you'll go up, you'll aim your shot, you'll hit it, and you'll move slightly forward, and the shot will hit a ledge that you were aiming just under. Like, I find it really slows down the gameplay, and I think you guys should adjust it so that whenever you hit R2 or the throw button, whatever, whenever you throw the throwable, it should take that path that you hit R2 on and not change just because you sprinted forward after you hit it, because that really slows down the gameplay, and I think it sucks. It's so annoying. Okay, now this is just a few suggestions for new weapons that you guys could potentially put in. Some of it's pretty basic, like, for instance, you could have a semi-automatic sniper that does exactly half health. That, of course, you're always scoped in, something like that. You could make it some type of variant. You could have a scope fully auto pistol, because you guys have... You could make a full auto pistol that has a slower fire rate than the 9mm, similar to the full auto, and that weapon would actually make sense for having a 40 damage headshot, so it would take 3 bullets to kill at the very most. That would make sense for a full auto pistol. In terms of purchasables, you could add a baseball bat like you had in your loading screen and in the single player. And that baseball bat would be awesome if you could upgrade it into like a Lucille from The Walking Dead. Add some nails to it. That would be pretty awesome. Make it so that the bat like stuns the opponent or knocks them back for a second. That would be an awesome feature. Because like the machete stops the one-hit kills. A baseball bat would be sick because you could hit someone, knock them back, and stun them for a second, but then give them a chance to fire before you could hit them again. That would be awesome. Some cool new purchasable weapons that I thought of and wrote down here. One of them would be like a smoke mask. Like, it'd be a cheaper purchasable that you'd buy, and it would give you the ability to last 2 smoke bomb stuns, maybe? Something along those lines. 2 or 1, whatever. And it's like a cheaper option. Another one would be like a net guard armor or something along that sort that could help you survive a Shiv kill with, like, say, 10 health or something, just to give you a second chance. Some type of net guard. Something like that. You could put in a switchblade, kind of like Ellie's switchblade, that is basically like 6 Shivs, or maybe you could say it's unbreakable and lasts the whole match, depending on how you guys wanted to balance it. But make it obviously cost a lot if you're going to make it last indefinitely for the match. But you could also balance it. Say it lasts for 4 to 6 Shivs, something that you buy for a good amount of gears to help give you a Shiv on the fly type thing. One last thing I thought that would be really cool is if you could buy an upgraded like ghillie suit type thing to help you blend in with the environment a little more. Maybe if you're a sniper or stealth, something along those lines, that'd be really cool to buy like a ghillie suit outfit or something. Alright guys, so that concludes part 1, weapons of my wish list. Coming up will be perks, and depending on how long that video is, I could mix 2 parts into one video. So there'll be a few videos coming up, and it could vary 3 to 4 depending on how long they are. If any of you guys agreed with anything I said, or you think it'd be beneficial for Naughty Dog to see this video, go into the description and get the links to their social media and paste this video. Send it to Naughty Dog. Hopefully they see it and it has some influence on the second one. I'm going to pin one of my comments below to add anything that maybe I forgot or need to clarify. And if you guys have suggestions, throw me some in the comments. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you in part 2.